Let me just get this keyless entry going. Oh wait, yeah, they didn't have that in 74. You don't need that. So we're going to be going over every modification that I've done to my 74 Ford F-250 Super Cab Ranger XLT. And for starters, it needs a new clutch, which we're going to get pretty soon. But I'll go over that when we get that done. I'll make a new video. So pretty recently, I got all new tires for it, brand new. They're 235 85 R16 with 1/4-inch tread. And while we're down here, I also got new heavy-duty front off-road shocks with some new brake line as well, wherever the pointer wants to point, right there, and the shocks. And you don't need 8 of those. That one was just a quitter. Even though it won't pass inspection, you don't need that. Just this morning, went to AutoZone, love the AutoZone, and got some new wiper blades for it. They work great. And took us about 10 minutes to figure out how to put that one on, and about 30 seconds for this one, because we knew what we were doing. Another modification that I did was I put in new excuse me, I put in new flooring. The original floor is just kind of, it wasn't in great shape, so I went ahead and got a new floor mat and got some new fan belts to install, but the alternator bolt would not come out, and I even put on it a 600-pound air gun wrench, and it still wouldn't budge, so we're gonna drill it out and get a new one. You can see this is what the floor looks like under it. I need to get me a new one of those mats, but I haven't done it yet. Another modification I did was I dropped in a spring return throttle. It used to have hydraulic return, and it would actually get stuck sometimes, which is a little dangerous. So we swapped in a spring return throttle. Another modification I did was dropped in a manual choke. It had electric choke on it that didn't work all the time, and it would sometimes just dump a bunch of fuel into the carburetor, so I went ahead and dropped in a manual choke just so I was in control. I mean, you can see that's nice, shiny, and new. The truck even came in 74 with electric choke, so I've really enjoyed having that. Okay, so that brings us to under the truck. I got all new U-joints. Have that one back here that'll cooperate and focus. I have this one here, and then I have the one at the transmission. Also dropped in a new carrier bearing. Got all of those from AutoZone. I'm really a big fan of AutoZone. A lot of people don't really know why, but you have your opinions, I have mine. I also have a few other opinions. That's all we need to get into. And we'll check out under the hood. Okay, probably the first mod or upgrade, whatever you want to call it, I did to this truck was I dropped in a new exhaust gasket. You can see how bad the exhaust leak was here. And then we dropped that in. That's where it had the electric, that is hot. That's where you can see it had electric choke. We dropped in the manual choke. And also, let me show you the spring return throttle. Also, put in a new power steering pump belt. The old one was really spongy and really loose. Also dropped in all new fuel, that's power steering return. All new fuel line from the tank up to the pump. And so it's pretty good. Put in some Autolite spark plugs so it runs better. Got a new Thunder Maker coil in here, and it's been working well. Replaced the gasket for the master cylinder. Got a new oil filter and new oil, of course. Like I said, new shocks. Have a new negative battery connector. New relay for the horn. This bolt, that bolt came out fine. This bolt, which you need to take out to be able to pivot, you can see we started to wear down some of the rust on it, would not cooperate. And the fan clutch is good. You can actually feel the resistance from the camshaft. I'll honk the horn so you can hear it. Also, when I got this truck, the brakes are a little warm. Dropped in new brake pads. We found 1/4-inch pads on it, and we put those, no, 1/2-inch pads. We put those in. And so this thing stops really well, and it's got a lot to stop. 3.8 tons that's a lot of weight, or whatever 7,500 pounds is. I think 3.6 maybe, somewhere. You get what I mean. This is, I should also mention, the 4.9 liter 12 overhead valve straight 6 300. Got the Burn-O-Matic 5000 going on here. Is the biggest inline 6 in a non-commercial vehicle. The Jeep straight 6 is a 4.0. The BMW is a 3.8. The Ford 240 is a 3.8. So the 4.9, I mean, then you had your Peterbilt 6.8 and your Western Star 7.0 straight 6. But this is the biggest straight 6 ever put in a non-commercial vehicle. So it's got lots of power, and it's just not very good on accelerating because it's such a heavy truck, but it'll maintain 60 on the highway and be just humming right along. Almost forgot to put another tow ball on it. It had this one, the 6,000 pound, but I dropped on a 3,500 pound. I will never, ever, ever use this because this one's in the way, but it just looks better. Also put on a new mirror. That's the original mirror. I still have the original mirror, but dropped one of these on. So this one can actually pivot. That one doesn't move, it's just rusted there. It's been on there 46 years. Give it a break, but then you gotta have your cowbell. My mom's gonna be thrilled I'm out here in my socks, getting all of this on there. But that's about it. And I also fixed this so the seat moves back and forth. Need to get new linkage for the driver's side seat to fold down. Passenger side works, but this linkage, I mean, you can see there's no give to it. Just the linkage is gone. Either that or the spring is shot. And as of today, I have put 501 miles on my truck since I've had it in Texas, which on January 30th I will have had my truck for 7 months. Wow, that's actually hard to believe. Pimping out in the grandfather sticker.